that the sechel, the intellect, which is made up of chokhmah and binah, is what helps us realize that Hashem runs everything in the world. It makes us change our mentality, it makes us change our outlook in life, and realize that the Kadosh Baruch Hu kula kameh kelo hashiv. He says that nothing stands in front of Hashem with importance. Everything in front of Hashem kelo hashiv. It's like as if it's nothing. Because really, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the start of everything, and He's the source of everything, and everything is batil in front of Him. And therefore, He says, a person has to know that even if you see great people, even if you yourself, hold of yourself as great, look how many sales I made, look how much intellect I have, look how much success I have. At the end of the day, in front of Hashem, kelo hashiv. It's like nothing, because Moshe Rabbeinu was also the greatest leader, and he was most humble. How? He realized everything I have is from Hashem. My sechel I have from Hashem. My strength I have from Hashem. My family Hashem gave me. And the money I have, Hashem gave it to me also. So what do I have to give kavod to myself? Everything is from Hashem. I just go do, and Hashem gives bracha. So therefore, I have to feel like mevutal in front of Hashem. I should feel like I'm nothing in front of Hashem. So therefore, this only happens if you think about these things. You use your sechel to remember these things. And then what? Noldam nitorera midat yira romemut b'mocho machshavato lira litboshesh. And through this, it will lead to having fear of Hashem, because you realize Hashem is the one who does everything. And then you'll be able to have embarrassment. You'll have busha. You'll feel, how could I do this to HaKadosh Baruch Hu? I don't want to do this sin. It's a shame. It's a pazor. It's a mitbayesh. As we know, the Tikkun Zohar says in the Milah Bereshit, if you flip the letters of Bereshit, what do you get? Scramble the letters. Yireh boshet. Bereshit is Yireh boshet, meaning that the person wants to know the beginning. What's the beginning? One of the first things you have to do to learn to have fear of God is to have embarrassment, to have shame. Yireh, fear, boshet, and shame. To have shame of doing sins in front of Hashem. They say, what's a very spiritual person? That imagine you take all the rabbis in your community and you would put them next to you while you were doing business. Put them next to you when you were at home, coming home from after you came home from work, or in the evening when you came, or they put them all in front of you when you're at the party. How you behave at the party, how you would behave then. If you behave like that and think that they're in front of you, even when you're alone, that means that you have a lot of yirat shamayim. That means you realize how Kadosh Baruch Hu is in front of you all the time. That's a shaviti Hashem negri tamid. I place Hashem in front of me at all times. Meaning, why is there a difference when big rabbis are in front of me, when there's no big rabbis in front of me? The biggest one is always in front of me, right? So a person who uses his sechel to remind himself, it's like a guy here who's a chef, right? He's cooking food. So he puts food on the fire, and it's 10 minutes to cook. So he goes and he does something else, starts chopping onions. While he's chopping onions, he doesn't forget that he has food on the fire, because if not, it's going to be suchteri, right? It's going to be burned. So he goes and he always checks on it. Same thing. You're doing business. You're doing whatever, you're dealing with people, you're at a party, whatever it is. In the back of your mind, you have food in the fire. You're always remembering HaKadosh Baruch Hu is there. You never forget. It's always in your mind. And that way, you don't get carried away and you don't mess up. That's why a person has to use a sechel for these purposes, to have fear of Hashem and embarrassment, shame. So therefore, a person has to think about this. This is through, making this matter deep in our mind. To pay attention to His greatness. En lasof, there's no end. We cannot describe even HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We can describe, some of His attributes, but we cannot fully understand. It's limitless, right? En lasof tachlit v'pachad Hashem b'libo. To understand the greatness of Hashem, the fact that we cannot understand it is already something that we should be so fearful of and so embarrassed to let down HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Yirat Shamayim is a very big thing. Why do we have the mourning of the temple today? The temple was many years ago. We're mourning the temple till this day. Why? Because the Gemara says that if we don't have the temple, that means that if Hashem would have built it again, it would have been destroyed again. Because it's not the building that we're caring about. It's not just the shul building, and not just some nice building. It's the relationship we had with Kadosh Baruch Hu, and that's what that building represented. That people used to go there and right away change their mentality. Right away, they would see the miracles, they would have fear of God. today to give somebody fear of God. Hey, Shmachi, leave me alone. I put the tefillin tomorrow. Okay, leave it. Okay, yes, I have to go to shul. I know. Okay, fine. It's very hard to give people Yirat Shamayim. And this way, people don't have Yirat Shamayim, and then they live their life without Yirat Shamayim. And then they lead to this mistake, and they lead to this problem, they lead to that problem. We're avel for them. We're avel for this, that the Am Yisrael doesn't have connection to get the Torah, to have the mentality of fear of God. So therefore, why are we mourning every year to Shabbat? We're mourning that we're not close to Hashem like we used to be. We don't have the ability to get Yirat Shamayim so easily like we used to. And that's what we're crying for. So therefore, that's what we have to pray for, and we have to work on to have sechel, to use to have Yirat Shamayim, to have boshet panim from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. David HaMelech, we know, was a famous shepherd, and one day the Chazal tell us that one day a lion came and took one sheep from his flock. So right away he chased it and he hit the lion, and he took the sheep back from his mouth. And when the lion came to attack David HaMelech, David HaMelech killed him, right away without a sword. And what happened? The lion yelled, and two cubs came to help the lion, and David HaMelech also fought them. And afterwards, a similar story where David HaMelech fought a bear, and also the little cubs that were with him, and David HaMelech also fought them. And even when David HaMelech fought Goliath, he hit him with one blow, and that's it, he fell. But what? We see that David HaMelech was a scared person? No, he was never scared. He was not scared of the lion. He was not scared of the bear. He's not scared of Goliath even. Goliath, he killed everybody. And David HaMelech, I'm not scared. But what? When it comes to the Navi telling David that he did a sin, what does it say? It says, Sama mepachdecha besari mishpatecha yereti. It says in the Tehillim, from the fear of my flesh, from your judgments, I am afraid. David HaMelech says. He's afraid of HaKadosh Baruch Hu's judgments. I don't wish to be judged by you, Hashem. Nobody could be righteous in front of you, any living being. So you see that what? The main thing is to be afraid of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, not to be afraid of anybody else. That's what we really should be afraid of. So the Hasidic masters say that everybody has desires and everybody has feelings, but a person has to uplift them and use them for Hashem, right? For example, a person has fear of the government, fear of my competition, fear of my family member, what they're going to say, fear of my enemy. A person has to realize that these are feelings that are nefulot, they fell. Really, you're supposed to only have fear of who? HaKadosh Baruch Hu. This fear you have here, you'll uplift it and go and use it only to fear Hashem. Don't be afraid of these people. Let's say a person has faith, right? He has faith in his doctor to let him do surgery on him. He has faith in his in the store when he buys the milk that it's going to be good. He has faith in the pilot that he's going to take him, not crash. So those things, you're really supposed to uplift, and really, you have faith. It's not that you don't have faith. You have faith. You just redirect it to the right, so you have to have faith in Hashem. And all these people are extensions and messengers of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So therefore, the same thing. A person likes beautiful things. Rabbi, I like beautiful moldings, beautiful clothes. So that means you have to uplift it, and you have to like beautiful mitzvot, or beautiful chidushei Torah, or beautiful spiritual things. You have to uplift it. You have to bring it back to the source. So therefore, a person has to know the fear also. Fear of Hashem, you're not supposed to fear people, you're supposed to fear HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And they said even the Yetzer Hara, it says, right, you have to serve Hashem b'chol levavecha. B'chol levavecha, what's all your hearts? What is your hearts? B'shnei yitzrecha, Chazal say, with Yetzer Tov, Yetzer Hara. How can I serve Hashem with my Yetzer Hara? Even the feelings the Yetzer Hara gives me, I can use it for serving Hashem. That's like a guy gets angry at somebody who's doing Avirah, serving Hashem. Guy gets jealous of a guy who's doing a mitzvah. I want to be like him, so he's serving Hashem. A guy, he has a desire, so he uses it in the permitted way with his wife. Let's say, right? He's doing a mitzvah. All these things for mitzvah. So a person says, what about avodah zarah? How can you use avodah zarah to serve Hashem? A guy has desire to not believe in God, to believe in an idol. So how could it be? So the Hasidic masters say like this. They say, if a guy comes to you and says, I need help, give me tzedakah. I need help. Can you host me? So sometimes you have a Yetzer Hara to say, what? It's okay, don't worry, God will help you. If it's not me, somebody else will help you. It's okay, I believe in God. I can't help you, I'm sorry, go find somebody else. So he says over there, that's where you have to use the Yetzer Hara of what? Avodah Zarah. No, there is no God. No, God will not help. I have to help you. There's nobody else who's going to help. Only I can help you. And that way you push yourself to do the mitzvah. But the point is that everything in your life, you have feelings towards certain things. You have to realize it has to be sourced in Hashem, really like David HaMelech. But someone who doesn't fear God, he's scared of everybody else. He doesn't sleep at night. He thinks that he has to go and lock 50 locks on the door, and I'm afraid of this guy, that guy. You have to realize that everything's from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We know that HaKadosh Baruch Hu, if he protects you, no matter who's going to come, nobody can steal from you. Only from Shamayim. The Gemara Masechet Chulin says, right, a person cannot lift a finger right now, even unless in heaven they agree. So how much more so if Hashem protects you? Hashem never sleeps and never slumbers. The protector of Israel. If Hashem protects you, nothing can happen to you. If something happens to you, that means Hashem wanted to happen to you. So we have to realize that it's only HaKadosh Baruch Hu can help us. So now what? He says, look at this. Look at the Yehudit, the daughter of Yohanan Kohen Gadol. Right? She fought the Hanukkah story. Yehudit. She gave dairy and wine to the general of the Greeks. And why? Then she chopped his head off while he fell asleep, right? And therefore, in the minhag is on Hanukkah we eat dairy. Shulchan Aruch brings the minhag to eat dairy. So what? So didn't this guy? How could she kill this guy, this general? He didn't have officers, didn't have bodyguards. So how could he? But what? Look what happens. You can have the most bodyguards, and the most weakling person will kill you. A woman will kill you. Embarrassment. What? If Hashem wants, Hashem wants. It doesn't matter how many safeguards you make, how many bodyguards you have. It's the time. The time is the time. So therefore, who should we go and worry and trust? Baruch HaGever Yishiftach B'Hashem. We should, blessed is the man who goes and trusts in God. Vaya Hashem Yiftachon. And Hashem will show him why it was proper that he trusted in him. So you see that the person has to think about all these things and remind himself to have bitachon and have fear of God. Veshuv. And once you do this, you'll teach yourself to constantly think about Hashem and think how He runs the world. As the Rambam says, how do you get fear of God? Look at the great things God created. You see Niagara Falls. You see the beautiful Grand Canyon. You see all these wonderful wonders of the world. You see, look at how great HaKadosh Baruch Hu is. You see the body, how does it make sense that our stomach fluid does not burn a hole through our stomach? And how does it make sense that our eyes through to our brain, and we interpret everything and we see it the way it is, and how sound works and light works, and all the earth is in the perfect balance between the sun and the distance. We don't freeze, we don't burn up, and everything that doesn't go off course. You think about all these things, you say, wow, how HaKadosh Baruch Hu makes all this happen, and you sit and think about these things. Then what? Then not just will you have fear of God, you'll have also love. You'll have like a fire burning inside of you, b'hasheka, desire, chafetza, and wanting, tshuka, and this want to cleave to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, nefesh shokeka, like a thirsty soul, l'gdulat ein sof Baruch Hu, to know the greatness of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Like a person sees a celebrity, a person havdil, a goy sees a basketball player. Oh, wow, he shook my hand. I'm not gonna wash my hand 1 week. I want an autograph, please. I want to be close to you. He said hello to me. Wow, I was so close to him. His soul wants to be close to him because he thinks he's so great. So when you do this and you realize the greatness of Hashem, your soul will also want to cleave to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It'll be like a magnet. It'll be like, nothing can stop me. I want to be close to HaKadosh Baruch Hu and do His mitzvot and know Him more and study more. And I'm excited to wake up the next day and pray and do mitzvot because I want to be close to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. But what? This is only if a person thinks about these things. If you just go through life, work, eat, sleep, go to the event, come home, and just be busy with all these things. You don't set aside time to do cheshbon nefesh, and to do itbonenut, and to think about what my purpose is here, and what I have to do for HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and how much He has done for me, and I have to give it back to Him. So then you'll go through all this stuff, and you'll feel empty. You'll feel like a zombie. You feel like, okay, go here, okay, go there, pray, okay, learn. And then what? When the sayon comes, test comes, you'll fall. You'll fall. You know why? Because you don't have the fire. You don't have the embarrassment of fear of Hashem, and you don't have the fire to come close to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So what do we have to do? Well, that's why you have to use your sechel, you have to study, you have to think, you have to set aside time. Yetzirah doesn't want to give you time to think. We have to make time, and that's how we beat the Yetzirah. Baruch Na'olam, Amen.